Hey everyone, Micah here for Renegades React. I just want to take a minute and talk to you guys and give you a heads up that we are actually running a Patreon now, if you didn't know. And I would encourage you to check that out. Actually currently offering early access to all of our videos, more features to come. And if you would, it would totally help us out and help us to keep doing this for hopefully a very long time. And really we can't do it without you guys. So, Micah, what are you doing in my house? Oh, God. Damn ninjas.
There's a man who I respect very much. I respect a lot of the things he says, and he has a very good intellect. He said something about schools not too long ago. Refresh me, my friend. What was that?
What?
You said something about schools. Schools were like...
I probably called them a concentration camp.
That's right. That's it. Schools are like concentration camps.
Been saying that a lot lately.
And people are just like... Actually, people hear you say that. They're just like, whoa. They got that full Keanu Reeves meme, like, what if schools are like concentration camps? Whoa. Yeah, exactly. So, there was this thing that I saw the other day. If this is not reflective of how schools are nowadays, I don't know what is.
And don't take my word for it, guy. Go get the research about like depression rates and suicide spike when children go to school. Like it's not good.
It is not. Definitely not. So, excuse me. This one is actually an Instagram compilation. These were videos that were posted on Instagram. School is just out of control nowadays by Mr. Dorel Relicus. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, the link to the original video is down below in the description. Also, let's get this on screen, and let's just watch. Let's just see what happens.
Whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe. Oh. How about some jerk? Call me a bitch. I ain't a bitch, son.
Wait, is that the teacher?
I don't think so. Jeez.
Shut up. Shut up. Fuck this, I'm dropping out.
Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa! With the chair, what is going on?
Cat fight.
Stop.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Stop.
Okay.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Whoa. What?
Ninja kicked the teacher. Just spin a roundhouse, kick the teacher. Oh. Bro got hands, son.
Fuck this,
I tried. Oh, dang, son.
Hey, that ain't Squawky. You look sick. What the hell did you eat? A spoiled goat?
What the hell's wrong with your eyes, dude?
I'm about to say it. Say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
That was mean.
No, son. What you doing? What you doing?
Nigger. Okay.
Wow.
What is going on?
Well, screw you and that yee ass hair. Oh, whoa.
I'm dropping out for good this time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, damn, son. Oh, jeez. Judo throw, son. Oof, Jesus. No. Oh, I know this one. I've seen this one. Look out. Oh, Jesus. A hell no. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? What the? Oh. Really? 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 Oh, dang. Oh, whoa, bruh.
Oh. Is that a belt?
Getting in there with that belt, son. Break it up. Break it up, you little bastards.
I keep coming back. This time I'm dropping out and I'm selling drugs.
Wow.
Wow. School is crazy nowadays, man.
Sorry, did I say concentration camp? I meant Thunderdome. Wow.
200 into, 1 leave. 200 into, 1 man leave.
I had never actually seen the meme though. I've seen the guy in the yellow shirt where he's like, "I'm just gonna say it," and I've seen the meme where it says, "I'm just gonna say it," and then they say whatever their
I don't
twist
care
on
if
it
you broke
is.
your elbow.
This is so serious. It's like, but
I don't care if you broke your elbow.
oh man,
That face.
I'd never seen the origin of that meme before.
And now you have. Sheesh.
That was crazy.
So, okay. Craziest things I've experienced in school. Like, okay. I've been in fights, but those were like skirmishes that got resolved pretty quickly. Except for the ones that didn't. And I'm now infamous as Nakatomi Nate because of that.
Just saying, sometimes you gotta throw dudes downstairs.
A dude who's charging at you trying to push you down the stairs, absolutely.
I didn't say he didn't deserve it. I'm on
Okay.
your side.
All right.
You're the protagonist in all this. Everybody knows you're like Bruce Willis.
I'm not Bruce
son.
Willis, man. I'm not Bruce Willis. First off, I'm not in that good of shape. Secondly, I'd never be caught dead wearing a tank top wearing a tank top like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think you started out in a tank top. It just sort of happened.
That's true. That is true. And plus, I'd also never be a cop, which I think you're very happy about.
Well, Hollywood cops in the 80s. Well, yeah, okay, they kind of hated the Constitution, so yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right, but the one of the craziest things I ever saw in a class was a fight break out between two people. Guy had been flipping rubber bands at this one kid, and the one kid just kept getting more mad, and telling him to stop and all this and all that. And the teacher stepped in twice and told him to stop. Kid didn't stop flipping rubber bands. So one kid looks over at him and says, "You do it again, I'm gonna ram. You do it again, and I'm gonna ram this faucet head up your ass." Sure enough, guy grabs the faucet head in the science lab, rips it off, and then goes over and starts pelting the guy with it. Just starts pelting him on the top of his head and his arms and everything. Teacher comes over, splits him apart, and he sends he gets the faucet head away from the one kid, tells him to go down to the office, and then goes to the other kid, makes sure he's okay, and then escorts him down to the office. And it's just like, holy.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, it was interesting. It was interesting. The kid that ripped the faucet head off, his name was Brad, and he was a big guy. And the thing about it is he liked keeping to himself, but a lot of kids would usually pick on him because being a big guy, he had a very high pitched voice. Yeah, he had a very high pitched voice like this.
That seems like a terrible idea. It's like,
Well, I didn't pick on him or anything. I usually just let him be. But
right. But it's like if he's a big guy, it doesn't matter what he sounds like. He's still a big guy.
Well, he never took action until like that point, and then from that point on, people left him alone.
Right.
Honestly, it's like a jungle in a lot of schools because you have to prove your worth in order for them to just leave you alone. It's like a pack mentality. If the pack messes with you and you hit back, they usually leave you alone. But for me, nah, it just kept coming. It kept coming because, I don't know, I guess the guys just didn't like me. I don't know. But, you see, school shit like that, I can't say I've ever seen a teacher, like, come out and, like, start smacking somebody or start choking somebody.
That stuff was crazy.
But I have witnessed a body slam, like what happened with those first three in that one section of the video. I witnessed a guy like legit pick up this kid who was like a third of his size, like grab him by his leg and swing him against a bench outside. The little kid jumped on top of him, trying to batter the top of his head. This guy grabs his leg and just goes, wham! Slams him into this bench, and the kid gets knocked out because his head smacks against the edge of the bench.
Yeah.
And he walks away. A teacher walks over and stops him, and the teacher starts asking, who started it, who did this, who did that, and it's like, well, it was the kid, right? It's him down there. He started it. He jumped on him,
right,
trying to punch him. All this kid did was defend himself.
That was one thing I was told, like, in high school. My dad was like, I don't ever want to hear about you starting something, but you are more than welcome to finish it.
That's what my dad told me, too. My dad told me, if I ever hear about you starting a fight, you're coming home to an ass whooping. You're coming home to a belt across your ass and a hell of a good lesson. But if someone starts a fight with you, you are more than welcome to stand your ground. And it's like, yeah. I heard about some good fights, never actually saw any good fights other than there were I was like a senior and there were some freshman or sophomore girls fighting it out outside. It was just screaming and hair pulling, and it got broken up really fast. Yeah.
But I heard about some fights, but I never saw any.
I saw my fair share, and I was in a fair share as well. But gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy in school nowadays. Nowadays, it's not about finding a good career for yourself, what you're best at. Instead, nowadays it's all about passing a test, and it's all general studies now. I mean, honestly, they want you to be a specialist in everything and not a specialist in one select field that you'd be really good at. Like case in point, you'd be a good metallurgist, and you'd probably be a good blacksmith.
I'm terrible at chemistry, so I would never pass as a metallurgist. Well, no, it just coercive learning. It sort of flies in the face of how humans learn naturally, and humans mostly learn by participating in things. And there's a lot of research into it. I mean, anxiety, depression, suicide, they all spike
in school.
Man. And so you see a huge push for alternative systems of learning, but I think it's by design because, I mean, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the state wants to raise your kids more than it wants parents to raise their own kids.
Well, it's a crime for you to self-educate your own kids with your own personal curriculum instead of,
which is mostly how humans were raised for all of human history.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you look at performance scores and things, it's like cramming kids into a room for 8 hours a day where they have to sit still and regurgitate information. It's just not working.
Well, you see the kids are actually rebelling against it now and aren't participating in schools like they used to. And you see, when my mom was in school, she said things were much different than when she was actually teaching. She said that kids were encouraged, they were encouraged to actually do hands-on learning and everything. They were encouraged for that, in which, it was still a state-controlled school, but but still.
Well, bad policy takes decades to really come to fruition. I mean,
Well, there you go. Nowadays, teachers just don't care anymore. Teachers are just like, all right, here's a book, read it. All right, let me catch up on the reading of the paper. And then when there's a bunch of commotion, the teacher usually doesn't say anything unless it distracts him from reading. He's like, hey, cool off back there. Sit down.
Even in college, I had some horrible professors that like had tenure and were just basically bulletproof.
Oh, same here.
And
oh
they
my
were
gosh.
the classes were so miserable. I didn't get a thing out of it, and I mean, and of course at the college level, I mean, it's like you're paying an insane amount for these classes, and it's embarrassing what you get out of it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think college is becoming less and less of a necessity nowadays, because you think about this. You think about the amount of knowledge you'd have to cram into your head because of the lack of this right here. You have a computer in your pocket at all times that you can Google on, and you can pretty much find anything. The amount of knowledge that's on here versus the amount of knowledge that's in a library, it's impossible to comprehend. I mean, this is at your disposal at all times.
Yeah, and then just the practical side of it is, for a long time, it was so easy to get loans, federal loans for a college education. I mean, they're just handing out money left and right with, I mean, that really there's no stress to pay it back, so people were taking out massive loans to get these just crap educations. And now we're facing like a student loan debt bubble, with a bunch of people with degrees that, really don't help them to get jobs. So really college has just turned into basically your induction into debt slavery. I mean, it's not, for the most part, unless you have some kind of like occupational licensing hurdle. It's like college isn't really very helpful anymore to most people. And
then there was the case that CGP Grey made. He said, I originally got into college with a idea to get a degree more on the artistic side, but I only felt comfortable getting it because I had a career that I was going towards over here, a degree that was going to guarantee me to make money.
Right.
Now, a lot of these kids, like, for instance, a lot of these kids get out of college and they paid so much money into college, they think they should get something out of it. Like, he said, Ben Shapiro said, well, what you get when you have a lot of these college kids nowadays is you have them get like a master's degree in lesbian dance theory, but yet there aren't a lot of jobs out there for master's degree in lesbian dance theory, unless you go to Broadway, in which there's there's millions of people there who have tons of experience on Broadway, and they aren't going away anytime soon. So you getting that degree, you may have followed your passion, but your passion isn't paying your bills.
Right.
And they think, oh, the government should pay my bills for me because I took the risk and went to college. No.
Nope.
You see, if you depend on the state too much, you wind up.
Well, that's the thing, is that basically the taxpayers are taking all the risk because they're the ones that are subsidizing the debt that you took on. Because I mean, ugh.
It's just a whole hodgepodge of nonsense and ridiculousness. But anyway, that was School is Just Out of Control Nowadays. All 4 parts by Dorel Relicus.
I'm with him. I'm dropping out.
I'm selling drugs. I'm just gonna go start selling drugs. Well, okay. Morally, do you think it is wrong to sell drugs?
Personally, I would never do it. I think substance abuse is horrible, but I'm a pretty strict libertarian, so it's a cornerstone of the free market. So
there you go.
I would not impede the sale of recreational substances, because honestly, it would be much safer in a controlled market setting and not under prohibition circumstances. And that's been proven time and again. Like, the drug war is just a giant hoax that a very few people are making profits off of.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, man, heroin, just
let it flow. Let the I was gonna say, I'm 100% okay with cannabis. I mean, honestly, I don't know why. Like, for instance, even hemp trees. Like, hemp trees grow so fast, and that I mean, honestly, you could grow fields of hemp trees, and that would take care of paper production, no problem. You wouldn't have to cut down redwood trees that have been growing for 400 years versus hemp trees that take 6 months to grow, and they're massive.
Yep.
And the paper and the products that they produce are much more durable and much more capable of being cultivated. You see, once again, the federal government just saying, no, you're not allowed to grow those. You could use them for cannabis growth. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's just like, are you serious, dude? I mean,
well, all that's going by the wayside because at the federal level, all that stuff is still legal, but one by one, states are like, yeah, we're just gonna do our own thing.
Well, that's what's happening, but it's not. But to me, it's not happening fast enough because, you see, more than half the states now have it legal medically.
Right.
More than half the states now. Usually, that's consensus for a majority, especially in terms of how our election system is, which I don't approve of how our election system is, but yet again, I don't approve of a full, pure democracy because a full, pure democracy is, well, it's mob rule, which, in all honesty, individualism, I think, is contingent upon what the individual wishes to do and not upon what the masses want you to do as an individual. I think that's what I think, anyways. And for me, I think if half the country wants it legal, or half the country wants it medically legal, why not pass the federal law now? Why not just pass the federal law now? Because if more than half the states now want it legal, what's the problem? That's what I say. But anyway. All right, so I think that's going to do it. Once again, thank you all for checking this out. There's a link to the original video down below in the description. Don't forget to check out our Patreon and our Discord where you can make requests. And I guess we'll see you all next time. Take care, Internet. Peace out.